being the real you, the most authentic version of yourself, is the most attractive. Because then you're not trying to be someone that you're not in order to please other people and to fit a mold of how you think you should be. And instead, you start asking yourself, how could I be? What would it be like to give yourself the permission to lean into becoming that new version of yourself? Because who's to say that playing it small and trying to smooth the blanket for other people is actually who you really are? There's a challenge in change, and yet change is inevitable. It's like that saying, change is the only constant. So we're always growing and we're always evolving. Yet when we allow ourselves to express, to be the real us, there's a response to that. It's vibrational. So in today's video, I wanted to dive more into how you can be the real you, how you can allow your authenticity to come forth, and how you can stop caring about what other people think of you so that you can get out the gate and share your gifts, share your light. Because the more people that are awakened in their heart and that are living authentically, that's what brings about this change. That's what brings about this shift in consciousness. So hey guys, I'm Josh, and this channel is devoted to helping creators embody their awakening. And one of the key things I think I'm coming to understand about authenticity is that it's an amount of self-permission. It's a type of self-sourcing your validation. Now, for a long time, I was trained, I had this conditioning that I needed to be a certain way in order to make other people feel safe, tuning into other people's energy, and I would lose myself in the process. That's that kind of empath overwhelm. It's where you don't have solid boundaries and you don't advocate for your own needs. Yet in this process of individuation, individual means cannot be divided. You are becoming a whole being. So yes, we're all one, we're all connected. And yet that oneness is wanting to become whole, a whole being. And so as I started internally sourcing my validation, I started to experience shifts in my energy and shifts in how people responded to me. And even shifts in like when people aren't responding and you're wondering why they're not responding. And that sense of needing other people to respond to you in a certain way creates this attachment to a result that ends up repelling them. So as you start to go in and let go of the attachment to the result, let go of needing things to turn out a certain way, and let go of needing yourself to be a certain way, and instead allow. And in that practice of allowance, what I started to find is that I started to feel more comfortable in being different. Because I think that that is one of those wounds that I saw within my own life that you or many of us may have, is being abandoned because we don't fit in, being rejected because people don't like what you have to say. And then it makes this pattern of always trying to censor yourself or trying to be someone that you're not. Or even subconsciously putting ourselves into a box because of that fear of rejection. And what I found in that process is that as I came within and I started self-sourcing my own validation, self-sourcing my own love, then I'm not looking for the validation, I'm not looking for the love outside of myself, and therefore I don't need it from other people. And as soon as I started making that shift, the reflection changes. That is the law of reflection. Every small shift that we make within ourselves changes our web of relation. It's like cleaning a mirror. When you see yourself, when you understand yourself, when you love yourself, then suddenly other people start to love you. Other people start to see you for who you really are. And I call this the divine reflection, sacred relationship, and encountering deep connection. But when we're on the superficial, we're trying to be something. What is the energy of trying? It's saying that you're not already that. It's a force of struggle. That's what I always say. Trying is a force of struggle. And obviously there's a place when we're trying new things, or we're trying to make these changes, or we're pushing our edges. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something on the level of identity. That when we're constantly trying, when we're constantly striving, it's like we're struggling to simply allow ourselves to step into being that. So when that attachment to result is released, and when we source the internal validation and we truly love ourselves, the mirror starts to change. And this is, I found, about going in and really doing the healing work around being received. What does that mean to be received? It's a feeling. It's a feeling of when you truly express yourself, when you truly show up as you are and you share your gifts. And even just the fact that you have value by existing and being. That others are receiving you. Now, I went through experiences where people weren't receiving me. And this made me feel very insecure. And it made me feel like I wasn't good enough. But the reason that is that I was trying to be something, rather than giving myself the permission to fully just be it without any attachment to what other people think of me. Because when you're tuning into caring about what other people think of you, you're tuning into their energy. You're tuning into imagining, thinking about what they're thinking, instead of just bringing your energy into your body, into yourself, into your own frame of reference. And what I notice is when that shift happens, I feel more solid in my energy. I feel more solid in my body. I feel more safe. And I also found it's important to go within and to feel these things and to let them go. Because the feeling is the healing. It's allowing yourself to be where you are, rather than imagining that there's anything wrong with you. Imagining that you're not good enough. Imagining that you have a lack of self-love. And yes, it's a real experience, but Source loves us unconditionally. That's what I realized. Source loves you unconditionally. Your inner source, which is who you really are. It is the I am presence. Always loves you, no matter what. Always is the inexhaustible source of love and abundance and grace and goodness. And if that is within you, expressing through you, of course, you would want to be that. But when you allow yourself to be that, you realize that it's who you really are. That your authentic self is divine, is worthy, is love. And so what I stopped doing, and I noticed this in love relationships, friendships, anything, when you really want somebody to message you back, if you have that attachment, you're always trying to check in on them, it's coming from this lack of worthiness, and it repels the love you're trying to get outside of yourself. And that can be difficult in the moment because you want that external validation. But there's no way around it. It's all about the healing. It's all about letting go of needing that, because by needing that from one single person, putting all your attention on them, is a scarcity consciousness. It's saying that not only can I not find this within myself, but I need it from this person. It puts them on a pedestal, and then they feel that. And it's repelling. And also what it does is that it keeps you from feeling the love within yourself. And when that need is released, when thinking that it's only this one person, when you take the attention off of them and you put it on yourself, and you realize that there's an abundance of how it could come to you, you become more unlimited. Meditations for tapping into the heart, the field of the coherence of the heart, because we all generate an electromagnetic field. And other people pick up on that. Other people pick up on how you feel about yourself. When you look in the mirror, who do you see? Because who you see, who you think you are, is who you imagine yourself to be. When you look in the mirror, pay attention to what you see. Pay attention to what you think. Pay attention to how you feel about yourself. And start changing your inner dialogue. Experiment with your self-image, because you become what you imagine. Not just when you pray or meditate or do affirmations, throughout your whole day. That's what becoming mindful is about. But what was occurring to me yesterday is that mindfulness, in a way, implies the opposite of the word mindfulness. It's like, yes, you're being mindful, you're bringing your awareness to the moment. But as you become more and more aware that these thoughts are just rising and passing, your mind doesn't become more full of thoughts. It becomes more empty and liminal. It becomes less attached to identifying with, this is who I am. Identifying with the thoughts. Instead, the thoughts, they're rising and they're passing. And in that emptiness, there's a clearing that happens inside of your consciousness. And inside of that is this connection. You just feel it no matter what's going on. So distractions are happening, and you're not trying to change the distractions. You don't have to hyper be mindful, because overly being mindful is like overly implying that there's something wrong in the first place. And you're trying to focus past the distractions instead of just watching them do this. They're rising and they're falling. You're not distracted. You see the vision. You know who you are. That has been a huge part of this journey, is that, oh, okay, no matter what's going on, unconditional. Can I abide in presence? I'm not perfect. I fall out of it and I get into it. You're either in alignment or you're not. And it's nothing to beat yourself up over. And that's what I started to realize, is that I was being too hard on myself. When you give yourself the benefit of the doubt, when you forgive yourself, another powerful technique is Ho'oponopono. And any relationship that you want to have forgiveness around for you, to clear your part on it, just going within. I was doing this earlier today. Anyone I needed to clear something with. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Feeling the emotions coming up and letting it go. And then as you let that go, you're also clearing those cords of attachment. You're giving yourself to forgiveness, is forgiving it up. And when you give it up, you have something to give. It's for giving to others. So when we self-source, when we find our validation within, we are clearing the mirror. And through the law of reflection, things will change and will be more magnetic, will be more attractive to others. Because that's when I noticed, even when I was going in the store earlier today, I'm just in my jam. I'm not concerned about what anybody thinks of me. I'm just in my own energy. People want to strike up conversation with you. People want to invite you to things. And also when you change your inner dialogue around different people and you start just having more loving thoughts and changing the internal dialogue rather than criticizing them or criticizing them for not getting back to you, that'll just keep them away for longer. But as soon as you start changing that inner dialogue, it's all a mirror. The outer is a mirror of the inner. Then suddenly it'll change. Suddenly they'll text you back because you're not attached and you've changed your inner dialogue. You've changed your inner talking. The inner dialogue is like the script. It's like the code of our reality. The power is not just in the prayers that you do with your hands like this when you're feeling it inside. It's your whole inner dialogue is creating your reality. It's what's running in the background. And that's why going deeper within and asking the question, who am I really? Who am I? I am. And you become the I am equation. I am plus whatever follows. And to connect into my heart, connect into the intelligence, connect into my body, connect into my own frame, connect into my own perspective, my own opinion on reality. Give myself the permission to live in that energy. This also gets past the perfectionism because it's never going to be perfect enough. It's perfectly imperfect. And I'd rather take consistent and perfect inspired action than take no action at all. To not give myself the permission. Because you can sit there and do all the law of attraction techniques that you want, but if you're not giving yourself permission to step into being who you want to be, then you just have these doubts, you have these things that are holding you back from expressing yourself. And when you give yourself that permission, that's what I found, is that people start to respond. Synchronicities start to happen. Even as I went through a shift and I just was in my own jam, in my own energy. I've got someone that I'm getting on a call with tomorrow. I'm starting to actually book calls with people to be able to share more of my work. And I call them alchemy calls, because it's all about, as conscious creators, tuning into your own energy, tuning into your own vision, what you create and how you express yourself, how you embody who you are. What you create is a reflection of you and your own vibration. So as you do the inner alchemy and go through the shifts in your own inner world and your own inner talking, the way that you show up, the way that you emanate your authenticity, the way that you allow yourself to become the new version of yourself starts to happen, and then you'll start to get these inspiration and downloads from source. And you'll feel more confident, because confidence is simply a practice of investing trust in yourself, investing trust in your vision, investing trust in spirits, investing trust in your path. It's an investment. Innervestment. And when you make investments, you change how you make the outer investments of you change the way that you prioritize your devotion, prioritize taking actions towards achieving the goals. And you're in an energy that is more magnetic, it's more attractive, because people feel you being you. You feeling safe to be yourself. You feeling good. You feeling in a higher vibration. And all that happens when you allow yourself to go through the valleys and the peaks. Because when you're not judging yourself, and you allow yourself to clear, and you allow yourself to heal, and you allow yourself to let go, and you allow yourself to tune in and step into a consistent daily practice, you're becoming that version of yourself. And other people are going to respond to that. They're going to feel safer around you because that's how you feel about yourself. They're going to feel safer to be their authentic selves because that's a space that you hold just by being yourself. So especially being a conscious creator, being a light worker, being a change agent, being a healer, a guide, a coach, content creator, healer, artist. I said healer twice. Writer. It doesn't matter what you do. That's the expression. But you are the medicine. And when you tap into that and you give yourself the permission and you self-source the validation, you become your own guardian. And then it's easier for you to speak up for yourself. It's easier for you to be solid in your own energy. And it's easier for you to give yourself the gift. Because when you give yourself the gift of the permission to be who you are now having an overflowing cup. That's what happens when you self-source, because now you have that very same gift to give to others. But if you're always waiting to be at the right place when you've learned enough and you've got 20 certificates and enough followers or whatever, then you've just locked yourself into always needing to learn a lesson before you can teach it. Instead of showing up inside of the lesson, inside of the medicine. Because when you give your medicine, you're receiving your own medicine. And by doing that, that's what I've been realizing, is that then I don't have to get to this perfect place. You can walk with other people along the journey. We're all going through these awakening journeys. All waking up to who we are. Would you rather be at the top of the mountain and be like, ooh, look at how cool I am. $1 million, 1,000, 100 million followers. Or just be like, hey, we're being human. Let's walk on the path. And even when you get to those places, being able to meet people and being able to realize that you're still human. And I feel like that's, being able to start from that energy is so powerful. And how does anybody get to such a grand space of success? They had to start somewhere. So the sooner you just start, because you giving yourself the permission, when you find that validation within, you're valuing your own self. And then inside of that, you aren't caring what other people think, so you're actually putting your work out there. You're actually expressing yourself without fear of rejection. It's liberation. It's freeing yourself from the BS idea that anybody else is going to fully get you anyways. You ever hear that saying, we only are seen as deeply as we see ourselves? We are multi-dimensional beings. There's always more for us to learn about ourselves. That's what's so cool about consciousness. So when other people mirror us, you ever notice how different relationships bring out different aspects of you and the other person? You can still be your authentic self and have different facets of you come out. So someone might understand certain facets of you. You might understand certain facets of another person, and then another person's going to see that other person completely different. It's the nature of perception. So when we find that validation and that love within, then we can allow ourselves to simply soar and to mess up and to try different things and to just put it out there. And then boom, you'll start getting these synchronicities of people who see you. But you have to allow yourself to be seen. And that starts within. It starts with a shift. So thank you so much for tuning into this video today. I'm feeling a passionate purpose on the mission. And also, if you are interested in booking a free coaching call with me, for a limited time, I'm offering these alchemy sessions to conscious creators who want to embody their awakening and express their gifts. And if you want to check that out, you can click the link below and apply. Also, thank you so much for everyone who's been consistently showing up here and supporting the channel. This is for you guys. If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up. That helps the algorithm. Leave a comment. Let me know what resonates. Take what does, leave the rest. And also, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe if you want to stay notified of consistent videos to help you stay tuned into alignment. You can hit that bell right there, and that'll give you a notification every time a new video comes out. Blessings, conscious creators, and I will see you on the next one.